Coming up on the Beaufort News, details on how redistricting might affect you on Election Day. Also, we'll find out about plans for the downtown Beaufort Marina. And there'll be a special Halloween celebration in the downtown area. Keep watching Beaufort. Your news starts now. Thanks for joining us for the Beaufort News. I'm Allie McNair in for Jessa Jeremiah. And here are your local headlines for Wednesday, October 24th. The Beaufort County Council has given its okay to a conceptual plan that expands day dock space and adds a water sports center to the downtown Beaufort Marina. As soon as the second state grant is received in 2013, Mayor Billy Kaiserling says the city can begin drawing up engineering plans for the day dock. The city has $27,000 from the Department of Natural Resources and expects to get an additional $35,000. Mayor Kaiserling says the money will be used for planning and to get federal grants to cover the rest of the $250,000 project. And there's also good news for holiday shoppers in Beaufort. The City Council also approved a plan to provide 2 hours of free holiday parking in the downtown area from November 23rd through January 1st. As of our taping on Wednesday, the former principal of Coosa Elementary School continues to recover from injuries she sustained in a 3-vehicle wreck Monday morning that claimed her husband's life. 64-year-old Cindy Keener was a passenger in the Jeep driven by her husband, Jack Keener. The couple was involved in a wreck with a dump truck and a pickup truck on US 21 near the intersection with Shanklin Road. According to authorities, Jack Keener, a retired Clemson Extension agent, was pronounced dead at the scene. Cindy Keener was taken to Beaufort Memorial Hospital. The South Carolina Highway Patrol is leading the investigation into that accident. Well, the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office is investigating an alleged armed robbery and attempted murder on St. Helena Island. According to authorities, deputies responded to a call Monday at Hawgood Lane where they discovered blood and bullet holes on the front porch of a mobile home. No one was there. However, the Sheriff's Department says later in the evening, a man with gunshot wounds checked into a Savannah hospital, whom they believe may have been involved in that incident. A 31-year-old woman who lives at the mobile home told deputies the shooting occurred after someone tried to rob her at gunpoint. At the time of our taping, no arrests had been made. And also under investigation, a fire that destroyed a mobile home early Sunday on St. Helena Island. Sergeant Robin McIntosh says a passerby called 911 to report that the home on 640 Seaside Road was on fire. But by the time firefighters arrived, the home was deemed a total loss. No one was home at that time. The cause of the fire has not been determined, but McIntosh says debris has been collected to test for fire accelerants. Well, downtown Beaufort will hold its annual trick-or-treating on Thursday night. Businesses will hand out candy during the event that's organized by Main Street Beaufort and the Beaufort Police Department. Trick-or-treating will run from 4:30 to 6 in the evening, and for safety, several streets will be closed during that time. Parents are encouraged to accompany their children, and afterwards there will be games and activities in the Henry C. Chambers Waterfront Park. Now here's a quick look at news from around the region. South Carolina state parks are working to become self-supporting. That word after a year in which they generated a record $21 million in revenue. State Parks Recreation and Tourism Director Dwayne Parrish says the goal is to have the parks self-sustaining in just over 18 months, the end of the upcoming state fiscal year. Last week, Parrish told the Associated Press that state parks had their highest revenue year ever. There are 47 parks totaling 80,000 acres in the state park system. Clemson University President James Barker is admonishing fans who booed when a reference was made to the commander-in-chief at the school's Saturday football game with Virginia Tech. Barker sent a letter to the school community on Tuesday, writing that he had heard from several Clemson people who were saddened and disappointed by what he called, quote, the public disrespect for the office of the president, end quote. The school was celebrating Military Appreciation Day, and during a break in the game, several new recruits took the oath of office on the field before a crowd of more than 81,000 people. When the inductees were asked to obey the U.S. president, some in the crowd booed. Barker wrote that people can debate issues and hold opposite views without rancor and disrespect. Authorities say a Lancaster man left his 2-year-old and 6-month-old children sleeping at home alone while he went on a beer run. According to the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office, after getting a call about an intoxicated moped driver, deputies found 28-year-old Christopher Blackman walking along the side of the road early Tuesday morning. They say Blackman told them that he ran out of beer and was going to get more, but his moped ran out of gas. Officers went to Blackman's home and found the 2 children asleep, along with beer cans scattered on the ground. Blackman faces charges on 2 counts of illegal neglect of a child. Now, if you'd like more information on these headlines, please reference the media sources that you see listed on your screen. Also, you can like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Coming up, we have your hot off the press report as Buck Boone from the Island News joins us when we return.
Low Country Real Estate is located in historic downtown Beaufort, home to one of the most attractive real estate markets in America. We've been providing high-quality service to our community for the past 24 years. Whether you're interested in buying or selling residential, resort, or commercial investment property, our professional sales staff can help you with your real estate needs. Please visit lowcountryrealestate.com for details on all available properties in Beaufort and come see how the Low Country becomes you.
Welcome back to the Beaufort News. Buck Boone is here from the Island News. Great to have you on the program, Buck.
So a beautiful day in Beaufort, Allie.
Well, we're at Halloween season, and I know you've got some tips from local firefighters about how we can make our children safe and happy this Halloween. Can you tell us about that?
Certainly. While Halloween is full of candy, costumes, and certainly a lot of fun for kids, firefighter Lee Levesque has some recommendations on how to make sure that everyone goes home safe at the end of the night. That include avoid trick-or-treating alone, always go in a group, examine all treats for choking hazards and tampering before eating, look both ways before crossing the street, never walk near lit candles or luminaries, and be sure to wear flame-resistant costumes. If parents have any questions about safety, please contact your local fire department.
Well, that's some great advice, and we appreciate your passing that on, Buck. Now, I know October generally has a lot of special designations. Can you tell us how the month's recognized in Beaufort?
Well, last week, Mayor Billy Kaiserland signed a proclamation stating that October will be National Colonial Heritage Month in Beaufort. So the local Dr. Henry Woodward chapter of the Colonial Dames 17th Century met and presented South Carolina Society President Pat Gallahorn of Charleston with a copy of the proclamation. Also this week, the mayor designated October as National Disability Employment Awareness Month.
Now, tell us about the recent preservation of a historic home in the downtown area, Buck.
The house at 1407 Duke Street, known as Frogmore Lodge in the northwest quadrant, was purchased by the historic Beaufort Foundation and an investment partnership with the Palmetto Trust, a statewide preservation organization. HBF will begin a stabilization process that will eventually result in the house being marketed to a purchaser who will complete restoration of the building built in 1870. These are certainly just a few of the stories in this week's Island News, so please pick up a free copy at a location near you.
Well, Buck Boone of the Island News, we want to thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Allie.
We turn our attention now to business news, and here from the Beaufort Regional Chamber of Commerce is Blakely Williams. Thanks for coming in, Blakely.
Thanks so much for having me.
Well, I understand at your breakfast last week, General Abe Turner spoke about changes that are being made at the State Department of Employment and Workforce.
That's right. I've got some great news for employers. You ready for this?
Sure.
He's expecting tax rate decreases in 2013 for businesses by 10 to 12%. That's great news for our local business community and employers across the state. These reasons are for economic improvements, stricter disqualification parameters in unemployment filings, fewer allowable state weeks on the unemployment system, and the lowest interest cost on the outstanding debt that the Department of Employment Workforce owes to the federal government. So great news all around.
Now, I know there was an important meeting on the deck of the Yorktown in Charleston recently Tell us what that meeting was about and what it means for Marine Air Corps Station Beaufort.
Well, it means we're one step closer to the arrival of the F-35. That's the great popular new stealth fighter plane that's on its way to the Marine Corps Air Station. Lockheed Martin organized the event on the deck of the Yorktown, and it was a wonderful chance for folks to get in the flight simulators and see what this plane's going to mean. And we all know it's going to mean great economic impacts for our economy here.
Also, there was a ribbon cutting recently. Tell us about that, if you would.
We did. We had another great ribbon cutting. Best Buy in the Robert Smalls Parkway Shopping Center has done some light renovations and reopened on Saturday morning. We were there to celebrate another great day for business.
Well, Blakely, thank you so much for joining us on the Beaufort News.
Thank you.
And coming up, we're going to learn how redistricting will affect you on voting day. And we'll get details on the referendum on Beaufort County's rural and critical lands. Stay with us.
Hi, my name is Matt McElhaney, owner of City Loft Hotel, an upscale boutique hotel in downtown Beaufort. We are proud to be consistently ranked as the #1 hotel in Beaufort based on TripAdvisor's guest ratings and comments. At City Loft, we value our neighbors in the Lowcountry. Whether you're taking friends by boat or need a romantic getaway in Beaufort, let us at City Loft extend hospitality while introducing what's new in urban hotel design. At City Loft Hotel, we are committed to customer service. When you stay here, you're always a local.
Rural and critical land preservation is on the November ballot, and here to let us know what it's all about is Paul Sommerville. He is the Vice Chairman of the Beaufort County Council. Paul, thank you for joining us on the Beaufort News. Can you tell us a little bit about the referendum regarding the Beaufort County's rural and critical lands?
Sure, Ellie, thank you. Glad to do it. I appreciate the opportunity. Rural and critical lands has been with us since about 2002. The first referendum was passed in that year for $40 million, and then a second referendum was passed in 2006 for $50 million. That's a total of $90 million, which we have spent on preserving land in Beaufort County. And we're running out of money, and this is a third opportunity for our citizens to tell us whether they want us to continue with the program of preserving rural and critical land in Beaufort County.
Well, you say it is important, and why do you think it is important for voters?
Well, there are many reasons why it's important. It protects primarily our waterways by protecting the lands around, particularly the headwaters of our critical waterways in Beaufort County, such as the Ocoee and the May and the many rivers that we have. It also protects heritage spots of cultural and historical significance. For example, Mitchellville on Hilton Head is being protected. Altamaha, which is Native American property, is being protected. St. Helena Island, all over the island, we're protecting various properties, particularly farms that might otherwise go to developers, such as Henry Farms, Sanders, Orange Grove. We're also protecting Fort Fremont. But as I said, water quality is critical, because when you protect the water, the property around the waterways, while you're protecting the quality of water, which is what we're all about in Beaufort County.
And Paul, for voters that'll be entering that booth, can you explain what a yes vote means and what a no vote means?
Yeah, thank you, Allie. A yes vote means that they support continuing the program, and there will be a $25 million bond issue, and that will be paid back by a slight additional assessment on properties, about $12 per person per year in the county over the next 15, 20 years, or however long it takes to pay the bonds back.
Well, Paul Sommerville, we want to thank you for coming on the Beaufort News with that important information.
Thank you.
And joining us now is Representative Shannon Erickson. Great to see you, Representative.
Hi, Allie. It's great to be here.
Well, I know that voters may see some different names and areas represented this time around on Election Day, and that's all part of the working on redistricting. I know on the state level you worked on that. Can you tell us what areas will be affected here at home?
I'm happy to. The Beaufort area, Beaufort County in particular, grew tremendously. Bluffton actually doubled in the number of citizens in its district, so you'll see Representative Bill Herbkursman and now County Council Chairman Weston Newton offering themselves for 2 districts there where there were only 1. Representative Andy Patrick will take on Defusky Island. I will stay over here in House District 124, but my district changed a little. I took on a good bit more of Burton and Port Royal and Paris Island, but I had to give up St. Helena and Hunting and Fripp and Harbor to Representative Kenneth Hodges, who's in the Walterboro area and who actually lost population. In the Senate, what you'll find is that we're going to have 3 senators representing us, not just 2. Senator Pinckney is joined by Senator Tom Davis and Senator Chip Campson, and Senator Campson is new to our area, coming down from the Intercoastal Waterway through Charleston.
And what about the footprints? When you take a look at those, how did redistricting change for the local and state footprints? And who's on the ballot for what areas?
You're going to see in the congressional district, we've moved from District 2, which was Joe Wilson, to District 1, which is a race between Congressman Tim Scott and challenger Bobby Rose. In the local area, I and the rest of the representatives are unchallenged at this point, but you're going to see some school board races that have several people offering for them. I think 6 out of the 11 school board seats have people running against one another, and those districts changed. We saw a shift to the Bluffton area again because of growth.
Representative Erickson, thank you so much for joining us on the Beaufort News. We appreciate your time. Coming up, we'll have the Port Royal Report here on the Beaufort News. Stay with us and keep watching for more.
Is it time to purchase for the one-of-a-kind person in your life? Over 60 years of service distinguishes Modern Jewelers as one of South Carolina's preeminent jewelry stores.
We're proud to have been voted Beaufort's #1 jewelry store 10 years in a row. Come visit us at 807 Bay Street.
It is time for the Beaufort News' Port Royal Report, and with that is Town Councilman Joe Lee. Thank you for joining us on the Beaufort News.
Thank you, Allie. Good to be here.
Now, I know Port Royal's first oyster roast is coming up. Can you give us some details?
Oh, yes. It's I've mentioned it a few weeks ago, and now it's time. November the 3rd at Live Oak Park in Port Royal. It's sponsored by the Rotary Club of the Low Country. If you've never been to an oyster roast, this is the one to go to because it has a silent auction, has a live auction. You pay one price, you go in, and you get all the oysters and all the drinks that you can stuff in you for that evening. And it's a great, great event, and plenty of people to, if you haven't been, plenty of people there to show you how to eat the oysters and enjoy them. So please come. It's Saturday evening, November the 3rd.
Well, and it's all for a good cause, too. How about Rebo Road and the paving job that's going on there? Can you give us an update?
Sure can. I want to thank everyone for their patience in this little project. It looks like it's going to be a couple more weeks of paving, then some finishing up, and it'll be done. But most of us have enjoyed the fact that they did the work at night, and we've avoided the orange cones. So I really do, as I say, appreciate everyone's patience. You'll be really pleased with what the finished product looks like.
And quickly, as is on a lot of people's minds, November 6th is Election Day. I know you've got some suggestions for voters.
I sure do, and I know you hear a lot about it on the Beaufort News, and I'm happy to say I want you to support the Rural and Critical Lands bond. We really do benefit from that, and it's just a great thing to keep going here in Beaufort County. The other thing I want to remind everybody, look at the ballot before you go, because it's really complicated in terms of new districts. And particularly in Port Royal, the 2 precincts, Port Royal 1 and 2, have been moved from the Firehouse Police Station complex down to Town Hall at the end of Paris Avenue. So it's a new venue a new precinct. Please come out and vote. It's a privilege we all have here in America.
Well, Town Councilman Joe Lee, thank you so much. And before we leave the topic of Port Royal, Jessa Jeremiah of the Beaufort News was there last weekend for the Pirate Festival.
Thanks, Allie. Well, I'm Jessa Jeremiah here at the 10th annual Pirate Festival here in Port Royal, and I've got the original Captain Morgan standing with me.
Mademoiselle, how are you
Welcome.
today? Excellent. You should come down, everyone. This is beautiful for here in Port Royal. My grandfather walked these same streets in 1680. It's an honor to be back again today with my friends.
Yes, and thank you so much for joining us. We're having such a great time here. Tell us a little bit about what this festival means to you.
Well, this festival shows a lot of what Beaufort's about. We like to kind of go all out, and we're at Port Royal, so Port Royal, Pirates, it goes together pretty well.
And what is your very favorite thing about serving food to all these great families here?
Making everybody eat local Beaufort food.
Now joining me is Danny of Danny's Barbecue, who is a vendor here at the festival. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, I just want to know, what does the festival mean to you? What brings you out to come celebrate and enjoy and serve the local people here?
Well, it's just, I know most people here. I just enjoy cooking barbecue. I, just entertaining people and having a good time, and there's great people here in Port Royal, so, I bought a cooker and said, hey, I'm going to do some barbecue, and I've done it for about 12 years anyway. So.
And how many times have you made it out to this particular festival?
Well, this is about my third year, yeah.
Now joining me is Wench Carol and Captain Mark, who are very festively dressed up for this year's Pirate Festival. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing great.
Great.
So talk to me about what it is that brings you out to such a wonderful festival this time of year.
I live in Port Royal, so that's why I'm here every year. I'll be here every year.
And because we love pirates.
Absolutely, and it's a great excuse to get to dress up. And what is your absolute favorite part of this festival?
Mine is dressing up.
Mine's the drinking.
All right.
My own rum.
So you're drinking your own rum and you're enjoying lots of great food, I imagine, and some great music, right?
Yes, we are. Great band.
Thanks so much. As you can see, we're having a great time here at the 10th Annual Pirates Festival. Back to you, Allie.
Woo! And before we leave, we have Mr. Mark Shaffer here from the Low Country Weekly with our entertainment report. He's on location in Habersham Marketplace.
The third annual Farmers Table event takes place at Habersham on November 3rd. I'm here with Executive Chef Jim Spratling, who's in charge of putting this together. Tell me a little bit about this event.
Well, this started 3 years ago, being the third annual, obviously. It started with just a meeting here at Habersham with Paulus Tuma of the Food Bank and myself and a couple of other Habersham business folks. They basically wanted to do an event here in the Beaufort area that kind of reflected one that we do in Charleston each year to raise awareness for hunger and farm-to-table type living.
So the proceeds, all the proceeds benefit a very good cause.
That's correct. To bring food to people who don't have enough. That's the bottom line. And the farm-to-table thing is just icing on the cake, really. And in that meeting, Hollis just basically gave me free rein to create an event like I would like to have it as a chef. And and the way the format came about is there's no competition involved. It's a total collaborative of chefs, and we have a series of meetings and come up with a menu together and execute it together based on what's in the ground right now.
Exactly. It's going to take place behind us here at the market.
That's correct.
In
That's
Habersham.
correct.
This year, including yourself, 8 chefs.
That's correct.
Some fine talent, including a couple of guys out here as well.
Yes.
And any idea what to expect?
We're meeting. It was going to be yesterday, but we postponed to Tuesday, which is no problem. We have, I think, plenty of time, and that's the only time I could get everybody together, really.
And there will be live entertainment, music, yes, and under a big tent, and everything's going to be lovely.
It's a beautiful event.
Okay,
it really
so
is.
More information, you go to lowcountryfoodbank.org. You can pick up a copy of Low Country Weekly, or you can visit us online at lcweekly.com. Get more information, book your tickets now. Seating is limited.
Mark Shaffer, thank you so much. And thank you for watching the Beaufort News. For Jessa Jeremiah, I'm Allie McNair. We want to thank you for watching.